mamy tutaj gin z ręcznie zbieranych botaników. Tutaj bardzo ważnym elementem, o czym wcześniej mówił Johnny, jest ta sosna. Oni zbierają sosnę praktycznie przez cały rok i używają zarówno zielonych gałęzi, całe te gałęzie wrzucają do alembika, jak i wysuszonych, tak? Także mogą zbierać w różnych częściach roku. Jest łącznie 9 botaników, używają kolendry, używają skórek pomarańczy, skórek grejpfruta, używają jałowca z Macedonii, jałowiec nie jest ich, dżęgiel jest z Polski. Poza tym jest tu korzeń irysa, jest cynamonowiec, to są te podstawowe botaniki, które tworzą dry gin, natomiast do pozostałych są dodane różne inne owoce i warzywa, na przykład czy miód, ale o tym będziemy mówić przy kolejnych butelkach. Zapraszam wobec tego do dyskusji. We have a participant, also some spirit experts. With us is Bogi. He is also a distiller, and he is specializing in all the recipes of liqueurs and especially in absinthe.
Okay.
Bogi, could you tell us what you are finding in the first glass? What are your expressions with this first bottle of dry gin?
Strikes the nose is something I would associate with cypress. So I believe this is the spruce somehow mingling. That smell is very oily and grapefruit laced. In fact, it has something I would call a hoppy backbone, like from hops from beer from India Pale Ale. So this is very, very evident. And also very evident is coriander. Coriander is very typical here, which is very good. And as I remember from what Johnny was saying, that the ratio between juniper and coriander is 1:1. So this is very nice approach, because generally coriander should complement, and here it plays as important role as juniper.
Yeah.
And in the finish, we can detect some angelica and a very small, so to say, a note, a smidge, I don't know how to say, a pinch of cassia. So
yeah,
it's just a little, but like a dot to finish the sentence. So as regards the aroma, it's very overwhelming.
Getting that citrus, the citrus notes too. So like you said, the grapefruit's there. There's a bit of sweet orange. I think the grapefruit is about 5% of the recipe, just over 5%. So
in the taste,
it's very fresh.
Yes,
it's very fresh. I'm finding a lot of these needles and also the sweetness of grapefruit. So it's very well balanced, because it's with the freshness, it's a little sharp, a little bit spicy of I think more because of the needles than of the juniper. So, but you don't feel pepperness, yes? You feel only the freshness, and in the finish a lot of citrus. It's very fresh. It's nice for the summertime.
Hello, good evening. So I just tried your gin, and I think that it's very well balanced classic with a very nice, like a surprise, which is the citrus, which are those citrusy notes, and I really like this because it's well balanced, and those citrusy notes are not really disturbing, but they just play very well with that. And it is the type of gin that rather suits my preferences, which are like more on the botanical side. So I'm very, very happy with this classic gin, because usually they tend to be flat, but this one is nothing like that. It is very well balanced, well built gin. It is very nice to sip on.
The next bottle will be rhubarb and raspberry. So rhubarb is from and raspberries are from the estate.
From the estate, and we also have so we have some from the estate in terms of raspberry, and some from Scotland. My mother is from Scotland, so I like fresh, fruity Scottish raspberries. And this expression is a, you know, you would cast it as a flavored gin. So we are distilling rhubarb. We're not distilling the raspberries in this case. We are infusing natural raspberry. So it's a juice that we're infusing on top of our original London dry. And the only sugar that sits in this expression is from the raspberry juice itself.
First of all, in the aroma, we have this candies coated with sugar, with raspberry candies coated with sugar. Again, the feeling is somehow vegetal, but also fresh, crisp, and the smell, the scent, in fact, as compared to with the clear one, the dry version, is rather sweetish, but not cloying, So this is the right amount of sugar, as you mentioned. And in fact, it reminds still of as if going to some confectionery store and browsing through all those different
little sweets, yeah.
Yes, they are
Rhubarb and custard, rhubarb and raspberry.
very nice. Yes.
Bonbons.
In the taste, raspberry goes back and rhubarb moves to the front.
Yeah.
And this sour note, so to say, nicely is intertwined with the gin flavor. So gin flavor is not lost here.
Yes, I would like to add them. First of all, the smell is absolutely amazing because it smells like the raspberry jam, or like that raspberry and rhubarb tart that you just took out straight out of the oven, and it's amazing. It has very nice taste, and it's rather like fruit forward kind of taste, but you can still taste your original dry gin, and it leaves you with that nice sweet and fruity finish, which I really like. And now I just tried to pour a bit of a just regular Indian tonic, and it's a very, very lovely mix. And it just pairs with that very nicely. So overall, a very, very good gin.
Again, this is an infusion on top of the London dry. So the honey is, as you can see from the picture there, is a local. So the honey is not from the estate. It is from 20 minutes away from where we are. So it's Cooper's honey from Maidenhead. So he has, I think, 4 apiaries now. He has one on the Windsor Castle estate. He has 2 in Bray. Bray is where we have quite a few good chefs. So Heston Blumenthal has a restaurant, 3 restaurants in Bray, and uses this honey at his restaurants. And then he has one in Maidenhead. So he has a deeper, darker honey from Windsor. There's a greener honey from Bray, and then the Maidenhead honey is more golden, and that's and more consistent. He has more hives, and it means more consistency and more sustainability around the honey. So it's the Maidenhead, it's the golden honey that we're infusing into this. And again, the sugar content is from the honey that we're infusing on this. So we're bringing it down to about 50% ABV, and then we're infusing this orange blossom, note of orange blossom as well.
I think this gin maybe lost something from the gin character, yes, because
it's a little,
you don't feel too much juniper, but there is some pepperness in the finish, which I didn't find in the original one, and which I didn't find in this with rhubarb and raspberries. Here is a pepperness.
Playing
Did
inside
you add
there.
some black pepper to?
No, we haven't added
No.
any. So it's just honey, orange blossom, and then our 9 botanicals. So still same base. It's just playing in a different way. I mean, this was very experimental. It took a long time to get the ratios where we wanted them. It's much more floral, obviously because of that orange blossom. I'm not quite sure. Yes, I know what you mean. It does feel much more peppery on the finish. So there's a little bit of heat there, but nothing that we've added unless it's a floral note rather than a pepper note.
I find this gin also very pleasant, but it's quite it was already mentioned, but this smell, it's very innocent, it's very light, it's delicate, it's giving honey and for me a bit of caramel as well. But then there's it's the most peppery gin out of all those three that we've tried today so far. So that's kind of a nice like changes going on as you're tasting it. But this kind of disappears in a tonic. So with tonic, this gin, it's very nice. It then has more citrus notes. So then when you add tonic, it's like very honey and citrus, and yeah, it's very nice.
And the last probe, the last bottle, it's another very unique recipe, yes, because it's dandelion. The dandelion, to jest mniszek lekarski, to jest mlecz, to jest
Burdock.
so this is dandelion, yes.
Yeah.
This is very common flower in Poland, but if we are thinking about the dandelion, it's a lot of bitterness indeed in this.
Yeah.
But you are using, of course, the dry flowers, yes, not the fresh flowers, but dry.
A little bit of flower, but we're also using root.
As regards the botanical aspect, this one is the most interesting, the most intriguing. This is something that I'm sure that you wanted to make for yourself.
Yes.
Because this is not for everyone.
No, absolutely not.
I want to make it, and I will make it. So this approach. In the beginning, in the nose, there is celery and carrot. They are very short-lived, and they move into chocolate praline. This is something that I detect here, and this chocolate praline evolves into a cherry cordial.
Yeah, fruit, cherry.
Yes, sounds like this. But obviously, as with the previous gin, so this honey orange, there will be, of course, a shift. And when in the honey orange we had a shift, here we have a roller coaster. Here we have a roller coaster, yes, of aromas. And first of all, because as Łukasz said, I'm more involved in absinthe making. So this is very absinthe-like, because of this licorice, because of this herbaceousness, of rooty aspects, of bitterness, which is not as bitter, but still it is, in fact, of all four, the most bitter. And it is also very penetrating, very profound. So this is something, yes, perfect.
As for this one, actually for me, I know whenever any of you agree with me, but for me, for the nose, it's really smells like a bubble gum, kind of, in a good way. And it's a really fun smell, like a really sweet, obviously. And it's I think it's also very nice to the drink, and I feel like as for the bartending part, I think it would be a nice match with to make some like a sour that also has some other floral notes to it. I think this would be a good drink to make out of this gin. And also for the previous one, for the honey gin, I had an idea. It came to my mind as I was trying this, that it could be maybe like a honey sour, something of that matter. I think that would work really well.